So it's day 65 and the balance is sitting at 2264. And the question that I want to pose today is what if BG wealth sharing were to fail, tomorrow or at any time? And I say that just to not be naive and knowing that things has its timeline in the grand scheme of things. Do I feel that BG wealth sharing has a great thing going and great potential with strong upside and a strong culture and a strong moat that can really be a game changer in humanity in terms of finances and the transfer of wealth? I do. However, I do know that it's a lot of targets on the back of individuals or entities that, try to create wealth on a grand scheme. So, it's certain things that people can and will do in order to make sure that certain entities don't remain the top dog. Because if something like BG Wealth Sharing is helping to create and change lives on a financial level, that will make you look sideways at all different forms of investment vehicles that said they were for the greater good or said they were for the people, but actually only accredited investors were able to be the ones who benefited. Or you get invested in it and, big money rug pulls and takes out the money, and now you're left holding the bag, as they call it. So it would make these other entities and companies look a certain way. So I can see big companies not liking a BG Wealth Sharing. On the flip side, what if it is something that I overlooked, didn't know, didn't pay attention to, that caused BG to not exist? All of these things are possibilities. That's why I say only time will tell. Nothing is a guarantee. Nothing is saying this is exactly how it's going to play out. But I am mindful of all of the hearsay and people saying, hey, it's going to be over after the promo, or it's going to be over because I'm seeing this, and all of the fear. And I can't say the fear doesn't leak to me. I don't have the fear because my whole thesis was, hey, take out your initial investment, only investment you're willing to risk, all of those things. That was my standpoint. So it wouldn't be like I would lose sleep. It would be unfortunate because I would look at it like, man, this was really helping a lot of people. A lot of people benefiting. A lot of people were winning. A lot of people were having hope and making plans. But it's not like I would lose sleep. However, I want you to get in the right mindset of things that you can be doing just so you can make sure that if something like that were to happen, you're mentally positioning yourself and you don't look at this as like a end of the world like scenario. So since BG Wealth Sharing is based on trading, it would be a great idea to learn to trade. And I'm actually, vetting certain things and vehicles to learn trading. But I want it to be very simplistic. Like it's a such thing as overcomplicating and overlearning in an area as it relates to trading specifically, because you can learn so many skills and tactics and things of that nature that something that you learn might invalidate something else that you learn. So I'm looking for something that's so simple that I can share with others, and it has a high percentage rate. It might not be 99. It might not be 98.24 like my trading has been. It might not be 97. But if I can find something that I can do on a consistent basis that gives me, let's say, 80% wins, then that's a model that I'm willing to follow, and positioning myself to still benefit off of the liquidity and the money and the opportunity that comes from trading, but also compounding your money because your balances is continuing to grow. The percentage that you're using continues to grow, and you're doing that on a daily basis. So I love the concept of compounding, using small wins to compound to bigger wins in the future, and really adopting the same strategy that BG Wealth Sharing has implemented, focusing on using a small percentage of your account, focusing on small wins, and consistent compounding with consistent wins. So if a person does that and they learn that skill for themselves, then that's something nobody can take from them. So I think that's something that we all should be doing, learning the skill of trading. Now, of course, there are some other things that you may want to consider, because people love the incentivized portion of BG Wealth Sharing, the commission side. So, of course, there may be some things you want to do in terms of business, positioning yourself to start a business. Could it be something that's referral based? Could it be something that's direct sales? Could it be network marketing? Could it be affiliate? Possibly. You have to decide what's right for you. But these are things that you want to consider, so that way you have a form of income that doesn't conflict with your life per se, but positions you to be growing in other areas while you're in BG Wealth Sharing. So definitely want to be learning the skill of trading and investing. And I'll be sharing and documenting the journey because, like I stated, me sharing these videos on a daily basis and consistently, and sometimes multiple times a day, is really just putting myself in a position to fail publicly or be wrong publicly. I won't even call it a failure because it's all about perspective. Everything has a silver lining to it. Everything, has a half full, I see the glass is half full. So I view it in that way. But it'll be me being wrong to a degree publicly. I said only time will tell. So, of course, there's an ounce of me knowing that some of the naysayers, could be right. Or they could be wrong as well. But either way, some of them are hiding. I'm out here on the front sharing my day-to-day journey from my experience, from my actual viewpoint, from the inside versus being on the outside and just talking about it. So I'm willing to be wrong publicly. That said, I will still continue to document whatever took place after BG if that was the case. And I'm saying if because only time will tell. But I still will show up. It's not like I'm going to go into hiding and people come in the comments like, I knew it, you wrong. That, this video didn't age well. All the things people going to say. People going to say this video didn't age well, or you was wrong, or I tried to tell you. Of course, everybody's an expert. Hindsight 2020. So of course all of those people will be like, I told you so. That's going to happen. I'm not even worried about that. That's no big deal. But I would be documenting either my learning journey. I'm going to be documenting my journey in terms of me learning trading and positioning me to get consistent wins, trade with a small amount of money. This is what I'm learning. Taking y'all on that journey because you may want to benefit or participate in that journey as well as you're learning for yourself. Not trying to create a new copy trading program, because there are some that exist, and not that I'm opposed to those that exist, but it would be me wanting people to develop the skill set so that way you have that in your toolbox, but in a simplistic way. Like, I want the simplest form, and I know it has to exist because once I think it, I'm like, it's just a matter of time before I find what it is that I'm looking for. So I want it to be something very simple that people can do that allows them to, my phone is ringing, I called them back, that allows people to do exactly what they need to do in order to learn the game of trading and master one or two skills of trade and be profitable on a regular basis, even if it's small incremental wins, daily compounded. That would be my objective. I might be documenting that on the daily, amongst other things that I'll share. But I won't go into hiding and say, now all of a sudden I'm not doing the daily videos. Just not wired to do that. My integrity is intact. I'm in a position to where I, want to see people win. So if I find ways that can help people win, especially those who have been tapped in and following, then of course I want to share what can also work for you and help others, because BG Wealth Sharing is a worldwide thing. It's people all over the place. But those who have been following this channel, you're in different places as well, and you would like something that you can continue to do. Now, this is me saying it from a hypothetical standpoint, but I want you to be thinking about that so you can be putting your mindset in the learning phase. Now, I feel like BG Wealth Sharing has great, strong potential and some of the future plans that seem to be in the works, the physical location, brick and mortar. It would be very unfortunate if something like that was to rug pull and then surprise, everything was fake, it wasn't a real thing, even the people, all of those things. That would be crazy. That would be, crazy. But I just have to get you in the mindset. This video is all about you adopting the mindset that I'm adopting. I'm looking at it from both angles. Could it be this? Possibly. Could it be that? Possibly. I'm aiming for this and hoping for this. But to not be naive, because the goal is making sure you put your family in different positions, taking the family to the next level. I can't be naive and not want to strategize in other areas in order to develop a skill or develop or learn something that cannot be taken from me, because I understood and it did for myself, not depending on the entity to know how to do the trades for me. So I want you to be positioning yourself and seeing, okay, Let me see how my daily trades work. How much did I make? What percentage did I gain? And now you're comparing it to your daily BG wealth sharing, still doing your copy trades, all of those things, still doing what you would typically do, but positioning yourself for success simultaneously. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what I really wanted to come here. What if? What if? Because who knows? Only time will tell. People in the comments telling me, it's going to be this time, it's going to be this date, and some of it is rooted in fear, some of it is rooted in good energy and good perspective, just trying to look out. Neither is wrong, but some of them are rooted in a place of they've been burnt before. So because they've been burnt before, they feel like they don't want to be a part of this, and they kind of don't want to see this win either. So it's a combination of things. Either way is fine with me. Only time will tell, but make sure you take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, then you can't expect or depend or rely someone else to. And the best way I feel to take care of you in alignment with BG Wealth Sharing is to learn the skill of trading simplistically. If you want to know the ones I'm vetting, or once I find one that actually is something that is something that I'm willing to share because I feel like it can be on their level, then let me know. But I got a couple of entities that I'm vetting in that area so I can position myself and help others along the process. That's all I got for this video. If you're a part of BG Wealth Sharing and you want access to the system, it's a link down below. If you're not and you want to be a part of the system, it's a link down below. But I just had to drop this. What if? Because I hear it all and we're aware of all of those things. But you have to know what you can be doing simultaneously to doing your copy trades. Speaking of copy trades, it's time for me to do my copy trade right now. Somebody in my group just pasted the signal, so let me do my copy trade for today. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.